What's up, everybody? It's time for another episode of That's Rather Cavaliers. I'm your host today, Relly Hall. If for all the new listeners or people that's listening, thank you for listening. But if you're new, and you want to share some of the love, you can do us a great favor. Share us on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Pandora, anywhere you can get some podcasts. We're there on That's Rather Cavaliers. And of course, we have a guest today, man. We have a guest, and we thank you out there, CHB Jordan. You feel me? You got anything you want to promote before we get into this Cav juicy content,
Nothing to promote. I'm just so excited to be here. There is so much to talk about
man?
because the Cavaliers are having one of the most interesting seasons
Dude,
possibly we've seen in a minute.
like you could have said that any better, right? Like you got trade rumors, you got all these a lot of our star players hurt. You got the
Yep.
Cavs still finding ways to win. You got all these young talents that's still in the G League technically, and
Mm,
then you've got a lot of players that the Cleveland Cavaliers could potentially trade for. You know
we
what I
do.
mean? So starting first, because I do got three topics, but of course I think it's gonna end up being more that we talk about. But the first one, right? Of course, we hear a lot of rumors, one of which is about Donovan Mitchell, right?
Yep.
And I've been waiting to kind of pick your brain on this, right? Because I got it's like
Mm.
two parts. But it's like with Donovan Mitchell, do you really see Spider leaving the Cleveland Cavaliers?
Well, look. I don't want to say something that is going to break Pip's heart because I know he's a massive Donovan Mitchell fan, and I'm pretty sure when that guy got traded to the Cavs, Pip had an orgasm. I could hear it in Australia when it happened, but there's a lot of like weird things with Donovan Mitchell because the main thing everyone's talking about, right, is does Donovan Mitchell want to be traded from the Cleveland Cavaliers? But what my main thing is, what I'm thinking is, what do the Cleveland Cavaliers want to do with Donovan Mitchell? Because if we're going to be honest with ourselves right now, Donovan Mitchell's play on the Cavaliers this season has been so inconsistent. I'm sure most people have seen those videos on TikTok that show Spider driving in the lane, taking on four guys. He's got guys all around him, and he's just not passing them the ball. Again, that's an issue. But then you can argue, well, the guys who he has to pass the ball to are 30-kilogram overweight Georgie Niang, who looks like a bag of milk. Like, if I'm being brutally honest here, it's just it's a massive issue right now. And yeah, I truly think, and I've said this before, I am on the side now where I do think the Cavaliers and Donovan Mitchell might actually mutually part ways. I know. I think
Really?
I think Donovan Mitchell low key wants to stay a Cavalier, but right now it is a really really tough situation because the Cavaliers are not playing well with Donovan Mitchell. He and Garland are not playing well together. That defense is legitimately just training cones at this point. And not just that, the Cavaliers are not winning. He's got 1 year left on his deal. The Cavs don't even know if this guy is going to come back. Like,
Mhm.
he might be thinking, I want to stay now. In a year's time, a team who was like us a couple years ago, who are extremely on the rise, who can offer him a 5 year or 4 year massive deal, will legitimately just be waiting right there for him. So it's a big decision for the Cavaliers, and I think the way it's trending, I'm not sure how much longer Donovan Mitchell is going to be a Cav for.
But if that happens, right? Like, who do you think he might go to? Like, who would be like, all right, this are legitimate contenders for
Yeah,
the Cavs to really kind of shop him. You know what I mean? Like, because
yeah, yeah.
it's not like Bradley Beal where he has a no trade clause, and it's not like other players where you kind of have to, because you do have a
Mm,
couple of years in his contract to really move him. So you have a lot more wiggle room than most superstars in this circumstance, right?
yeah.
But with that being said, though, you do want to make a great impression. Like, if you really are going to trade Donovan Mitchell, you do kind of want to make sure you let him leave happy,
Yeah.
or else other players is not even going to look your way. right?
Yeah.
Especially with us being a small market. But who in the NBA, you kind of say, all right, these are teams I would actually shop him
Yeah.
and try to get a good return for him.
Well, I believe right now there is only two teams in the NBA that Donovan Mitchell would probably want to go to. I think one thing, you were talking about earlier, right, with Donovan Mitchell and his contract being like much more friendly to Bradley Beal, is like Beal is on $50 million, an injury prone player, has a trade clause on there. We got to remember Donovan Mitchell is only on like $32 million. Like, that is really crazy to think, considering this dude is looking at a $55 to $60 million per year type deal. Like, if Jaylen Brown's getting $70 million a year, you do wonder, what's that Donovan Mitchell contract going to look like?